Have you seen the movie The Irishman?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
How does that ring as far as your uncle and everything?
It's not, I actually like that movie a lot. And I think, like my kids walked out of it because it was 2 hours too long, but I could have watched
Yeah.
it for another 2 hours.
Yeah.
I
thought it was great.
It was great.
I thought it was great
and just
as well.
watching those actors. The other one I really liked was the Tarantino movie with
Once Upon a Time.
Hollywood,
Yeah.
yeah.
And my kids also who love Tarantino did not like that movie. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was
I like that
I
movie.
love
a lot.
that movie.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that movie as well.
And just watching those guys act is so great.
Yeah, so
But
great.
in terms of the treatment of my family, it's not historically accurate.
Uh-huh.
The idea that Sam Giancana had anything to do with helping the Kennedys during the 1960 election in Chicago, which is another myth that was started by Sam Halpern,
Interesting.
it's totally implausible. Actually, I was at, my father had been, prior to the presidency, the biggest scourge that the mafia had ever run into. My father was running the rackets
So you
committee.
tell me your grandfather weren't friends that didn't know any
No,
figures?
no. My father ran the rackets committee in the United States Senate. My uncle was a senator then and was on the rackets committee. My father was like the Mueller of that time, and he was calling all the mobsters, Joey Gallo and Sam Giancana and Jimmy Hoffa and all these people, Sam Beck, the people who were tied in with the mob. And for 4 years, he was grilling them. 18 months before the 1960 election, he grilled Sam Giancana, and I was there. And because my mother would bring us every day and sit in the front row and watch him, and she would explain to us what was happening. And
Wow.
we were watching these, major mafia figures. Sam Giancana took the fifth, I think, 75 times. And my father, and at one point my father said, "Is it true that when somebody offends you that you kill them and stuff them in the trunk of a car?" He said, "I take the fifth." And he said, "Is it true that you take your opponents and hang them on meat hooks?" And he said, "I take the fifth." And then he started giggling. My father said to him, Are you,
I remember that, yeah.
Are you giggling, Mr. Giancana? Isn't that something that only little girls do? Are you a little girl, Mr. Giancana?"
Wow.
So
Wow.
Giancana hated my father.
Wow.
And to say that 18 months after that, my father, who ran my uncle's campaign, would have allowed anything to do with
Yeah.
Sam Giancana, or that Giancana would be inclined to want to help the Kennedys in any way. And all of it, or the idea that my grandfather would have gone behind my father's back, who was running that campaign, and make a deal with a man that my father despised, and who would have had then the power to injure the Kennedys. If they, if all he'd have to do is publicly say, "Joe Kennedy came to me and asked me, to help him on the election." All of that is not only just sheer baloney, but it is, it's completely implausible. Not only that, but what they say is that the Kennedys won the election because, there's mafia help in Chicago. This was the CIA story. But even if we had lost Illinois during the 1960 election, we would have still won the election because we didn't need the state of Illinois. And it's no doubt there was corruption in Illinois. There was corruption by Republicans downstate. There was corruption by Mayor Daley and his team in Chicago. And they were mainly, and there were many local investigations afterwards, and they all show that the corruption was targeting local campaigns, local judges, and not the presidential campaign.
They tarnished my image of his grandfather, knowing he was a good guy. Tarnished my image of him.